What if I tell you that a well structured self intro can bring the entire interview conversation under your control? This works for two psychological reasons. Reason number one, when you start or initiate a conversation, you obviously get a psychological advantage over the other person. When I'm getting interviewed, I always ensure that I'm the one who starts the conversation. It could be as simple as, hey, thanks for taking time to interview me. I really appreciate that. Although this line may not add much value to the entire conversation, this always gives me an edge to lead the conversation. Reason number two, the first 20 or 30 seconds is all it takes for a person to form an impression about the one who is talking. So, when you start with a well prepared self intro, the first tick mark will fall there itself in the interviewer's mind. So, what I'm going to do today is to give you a structure and some techniques for giving a stellar self intro. But before we get into those techniques, let's set some ground rules for a self intro. Rule number one, keep your self intro within 1 minute. That's right. If you go beyond 1 minute, you may lose the interest of your interviewer. Besides, conciseness conveys professionalism and confidence. Have you ever noticed that when someone is explaining to you something and you don't know enough, they tend to explain the same thing over and over again for a long time? That is lack of confidence. Whereas confidence is straight to the point, no fluffs, no essays, no nonsense. Rule number two, don't ever script your self intro and mug it up before the interview. It'll do more harm than good. When I used to interview, I have seen this that the first few minutes of the meeting we'll have a small chit chat and then I will ask the guy to introduce himself. And then this guy will start introducing by telling his name. Hi, I am Rahul. That itself shows that his self intro was scripted. Please don't do this. Just deliver it naturally as and how it comes. But it will come out good only if you have done enough practice. Okay, now let's get into the techniques of giving a stellar self intro. As I said, your self intro should be within 1 minute. And what we are going to do is to divide this 1 minute into three equal parts of 20 seconds. And to remember it easily, just think about it as past, present, and future. The first 20 seconds is your past, your background, where you are coming from, in the least number of words possible. Things to focus here is where you live, what is your highest education, what are your experiences, and what is the current company you are working for, or the last company you have worked for if you are not working right now. So, all you got is 20 seconds to deliver this. Let's give it a shot. I live in Bangalore. My hometown is in Kerala. I did my master's from ABC and I started my career as a software test engineer, later moved on to product management. I have 13 years of experience in IT with 8 years of experience in product management, and I'm currently working for XYZ as a senior product manager. That's it. Short and sweet. The second part is the essence of the self intro, where you would double click on your skills and experience. This is the part you want to showcase to the interviewer for him or her to identify where you stand in terms of the job role that he or she is interviewing for. So let's go with the second part. Rolling. I'm an outbound product manager. I do market research, data analysis, and customer interactions. I'm very skilled in UX design, which was one of the requirements for this role. But unfortunately, I'm not very experienced with mobile apps. But I think I can pick it up pretty fast because as a product manager, it's all about how my product solves a problem for the customer. Doesn't matter whether it's a mobile app or a web app, right? So that's it. Within 20 seconds, I conveyed my skills and experience and also try to steer the interview by telling the interviewer what I know well and what I don't know well, and also subtly hinted that what I don't know is not going to make a huge difference. The final 20 seconds is the future. This is where you are going to tell what you expect from the job or why did you apply for this job in the first place. Let's go. While everything is going well in my current job, I want to do something different and I also want to step up in my career, of course, from a monetary perspective as well. I have researched about your company a bit and see that you guys are partnering with the popular F&B brands in the country. I think it's a great time for me to join your team and bring in the expertise that I have. So that's the last part of the self intro. Well, this 20 seconds is not a hard and fast rule, of course. If you want to lengthen or shorten any of these three parts, you can do so. The idea being you should try to contain your self-intro within 1 minute. Now, this 1 minute of self-intro doesn't come on the fly. You have to practice it. But as I said, don't write down the full script and practice. Rather, write down the main points that you want to convey and articulate it in the flow of a conversation each time you practice. Now, there are two ways to practice it. If you are geeky enough, there is an AI way to practice it.
Of course, there may be many AI tools available online today that would help you to practice your interview speaking skills. This is one of them. This is called udly.ai. So when you sign up for a free account in Udly, you get to practice up to 5 Udlys. I have already consumed 4 out of 5. So what you do is on the home page, you click on practice interview. There you go. You give the role for which you are getting interviewed. You give the company and you give the tone of the interviewer. I have selected professional here. Now we are going to add a question. Tell me about yourself. Save. Now we are going to give our 3-part structured self-intro. Rolling.
Tell me about yourself.
I live in Bangalore. My hometown is in Kerala. I did my master's from KBC, the expertise that I bring in. So that's me. I'll be eager to know how you will assess my skills for the fitness.
So we have ended the interview. Let's see the analysis. So once you have done this, Udly will analyze your speaking skills and give you a very detailed feedback like this, consisting of your strength, the growth area, and then each of the categories like conciseness, summary, pronunciation, and things like that. I hope this is useful.
Now, if you are not a fan of AI tools, you could practice using my favorite method, which is to shoot a selfie video and watching it by yourself and identify how you can improve. Of course, it's a bit difficult at first to be your own critic, but trust me, once you get past the initial awkwardness, no AI tools can replace your judgment skills. You have to practice the same content for at least 5 times over 5 different days. Or if you have the luxury of more time before your interview, that's even better. Do it as many times as you can. Each time when you rehearse, you would see that how your tone, your pronunciation, and more importantly, your confidence is going up. Well, that's it. Please hit like if you really like this video. I have included more videos that are related to interview psychology hacks in the description box below. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I have a bunch of these interesting stuffs waiting to be shared with you.